The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, tell there are no rich no more.
Welcome to Pot Talk, everybody. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Paul.
And you can tell us your name.
Jeremy.
Oh, sorry, guys.
He's gonna fit in perfectly here.
Where's the crickets?
Oh, that's fucking great.
I wasn't sure you guys were waiting on me. I was reading an article.
Oh, shit. Another great beginning.
All right, welcome to fucking Pot Talk.
And what's going to be the first subject, Mr. Jeremy?
Mr. Jeremy wants to talk about the 11 Marines who were injured in Virginia. What was this, 2 days ago now, under a chemical attack. One soldier, I believe, what is this, Joint Base Meyer-Henderson Hall in Arlington, Virginia, Tuesday. They opened up an envelope that had a strange chemical or some sort of powder in this, and they're not saying what it is. But on the news, they're calling this a hazmat incident.
No, that's... Sorry.
They're not calling it a chemical or a biological attack. Chances are this was probably something similar to anthrax. I mean, 2 of the guys were hospitalized, and thankfully the rest of them turned out okay, but they're not talking about this in the news on CNN. They're
I didn't hear none of this.
Yeah, this is the first time.
Where was this?
Arlington, Virginia, at Joint Base Meyer-Henderson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I love how the media just picks and chooses what they're going to report.
Well, yeah, they would rather talk about David Hogue and the kids going back to school in Parkland than the fact that one of our bases was attacked, basically, chemical or biological, whatever the case may be. But like I said, 2 of the soldiers were hospitalized and the rest are thankfully okay. But I'm sitting here watching a video in the background on my computer now. It says military base hazmat incident. It doesn't even name the base or call it an attack. It says hazmat incident.
Yeah, like it was a chemical spill.
Yeah,
like fucking
exactly.
at Raytheon or something. A hazmat incident. Fucking assholes.
Well, if you watch the video, they clearly say a soldier opened some sort of envelope that had chemical or powder residue in it, and they all got sick. And
so it's definitely it's not a hoax like the Trump one, Trump's kid.
Right? Yeah, his what was that? His daughter-in-law?
Yeah, his daughter-in-law opened it up. They caught the guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, he's from my home state of Massachusetts, Beverly, Mass.
Wow.
Oh, he's a big, fat, dopey-looking douche fuck, too.
Well, you better watch it now. You'll get the Secret Service call.
That's what Trump was talking about, the 400-pound guy on the couch.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's being held without bail. In jail he is going to be fucking tortured. They're just going to torture this guy.
There's no way around it.
But believe it or not, there's a lot of conservative people in jail.
Can you really hurt a fucking 400-pound guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can punch all you want. You're going to get through the fat.
Yeah, in his face.
Well, that's where you hit the cheekbones and the jaw.
That's right. There's plenty of bone to hit there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard it was from Beverly, Mass, didn't surprise me a shit bit. I was like, yeah, that figures. Massachusetts is a cesspool of liberalism.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there, no
and they're
offense.
usually all on the dole.
Yep. That's why I left Mass. I was sick of being taxed to death.
Oh, it's only going to get worse. You watch the next thing that is going to be raising taxes on ammunition and guns. And
then I was watching The Simpsons one time just to stay on the Massachusetts thing, and they go to this restaurant where each table's like the shape of a different state. And they sit the Simpsons down. He looks down. He's like, "Oh, they gave us crappy Massachusetts." Like, that's beautiful.
Well, you know, they give the Simpsons credit for predicting the election of Donald Trump.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain said he said they should run a business, man. Somebody like Donald Trump.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Yeah, personally, I think Kurt Cobain was murdered myself, but
yeah, but that's when
his wife did it.
94, he was on Oprah saying that if he ever ran for president, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I seen the whole video. My brother Mike showed it to me.
That was before Cobain killed himself.
Wait. Mm-hmm. I don't think Cobain killed himself. Sorry, we're getting stoned.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I might as well let it out. What the hell?
I was trying to fucking smoke a cigarette and a joint at the same time.
I do that all the time. I smoke a cigarette and a joint at the same time. It's like, what the fuck am I doing?
It's called addiction.
Yeah, well, yeah. To the extreme.
Or stupidity.
Or both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
Well, what do you know? My
rape, a little bit cuddle.
Yeah.
A little cuddle, a little rape.
Yeah, I had an article up on the NRA fallout, the list of companies that are cutting ties with the NRA.
Yeah.
And it was on USA Today. Oh, well, I hope you don't hear that. Big nasty ad playing in the background that I can't stop.
We can't hear it.
We're not hearing it.
Well, that's good because I was just getting blasted in my ear with a furniture ad.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't see it up on the screen.
I went to bring that article up so I could read it to you guys, and it kicked me off the page.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, a lot of these pages, like you said, you go to pull them up, they all got advertising on them now.
Yeah, I was going to watch this. Yes, I was going to watch this video of something. I forget what it was. And the advertisement was over the video, and there was no X button to get rid of it.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, what the fuck? You fucking asshole.
Yeah, they do that shit on purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah. They, in this article, they talked about FedEx. Where is it here? It says that FedEx is okay with the teachers being armed and, they're pro Second Amendment, the owner and all this. But at the same time, what they missed out of this is the CEO of FedEx, I believe, is a former Marine. And he is also for banning the AR-15.
Really?
But they don't mention that in here.
Huh. I don't get it. I just don't get the rap with the AR. I don't get it. It's just a rifle. It's no different.
What is it, a 22?
Well,
no.
Basically it's a 22 caliber round, but each cartridge has, different powder, different length, what have you.
So
the projectile itself is 22 caliber.
Types of rounds for the same gun, you mean? Oh
yeah, you can 5.56, 223. You can even get ARs that fire 22s, 9mm, the 7.62 NATO rounds. They fire all kinds of stuff.
They shot 9mm. That's like what the cops use, right?
Yeah.
Glocks?
Well, down here, the cops use like 40 caliber and 45.
That's what my buddy Tim carries, the Glock 40. He said a lot of the cops are switching over to that.
That's what I have, a Glock 27 40 cal, but that thing's you don't want to get in a shootout with that thing because it has so much kick that you might get one or two shots off, and then if those don't hit, you're screwed. And
even then, it's lucky if you hit anything.
Right. It's like one hand in a 12-gauge shotgun.
I find my buddy Tim's. I like it though because I got small hands, and this other 40 caliber. It's so big. When I fire it, I literally got to open my hand up to let it drop back down because it's hard for me to hold it. It's fucking huge. But the Glock, it's nice. nice.
Yeah, I love my Glock. Don't get me wrong.
He brought his AR-15 over, right? And he took a picture of me in the backyard with my phone. And this girl, a friend of mine, well, she's a nut. And she was posting all this crap about the AR-15. So I sent her a picture of me holding the AR-15. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why would you have to do that to me and traumatize me? I just want to know before I block you. I just wrote, bye. Oh my God, a picture triggered you? Stop it. Stop being a baby.
Speaking of that, I was looking up old photos of the JFK assassination, and they said that Oswald used a Bushmaster bolt-action rifle to commit the assassination, but yet they show him in black and white photos holding what looks like a maybe might be an M16 or an M4. It could even be an AR-15, and they're saying that this is the gun he used. Here he is, pictured with the gun he used to assassinate
in front of
us. Two different guns.
I thought it was an Italian bolt-action gun that he used.
The way I heard it, it was Bushmaster, but I can't look that up.
No, it was James Earl Ray used a Bushmaster, I thought.
Well,
I could be totally wrong on that, but I could have sworn I'd seen a thing.
James Earl Ray used.
And I could have sworn that Lee Harvey Oswald used some type of an Italian bolt-action weapon. And there he is.
Real quick.
What do we get to say?
No, just hold on. Let's see what he's going to come up with. Come up with this.
Let's bullshit that.
All right. What do you want to talk about, Jerry?
My lighter.
What lighter?
Your lighter.
Got the American flag on it.
Yeah, he's right. It was a
tank.
It was a Carcano Model 9138 infantry rifle. Fired a 6.5 by 52 millimeter round.
Ha! I was right.
It was an Italian?
Yeah, it was an Italian bolt action. I seen some reenactment of the actual thing.
But they're saying that
and I just remembered because I'm Italian. And I just remembered the fact that it was an Italian bolt action gun.
Well, it's ironic. They said he fired 3 extremely accurate shots
in 6 seconds or something?
Yeah.
You could do it with a bolt action.
Right. It doesn't take long to pull it back and aim.
Well,
it takes practice. I'm sure he did it.
Could have just been having a good day.
I would hope so, because
if I tried it for the first time, I doubt if I could do it in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
From the way they were talking about
a great adept, and that's the goal you're trying to go for, you don't leave until you did it.
Well, how proficient with the gun was he?
See, that's what I don't understand, though, is from what I understand, his military career, what little career he did have, was not that stellar.
No, yeah. And do you know another thing I don't understand about Lee Harvey Oswald?
He defected to Russia.
How the fuck did he get back?
They kicked him out.
We took him back.
We took him back. That's the damnedest thing.
No. It's like once you defect.
Yeah, that should be kind of like, well, go find somewhere, buddy. You defected.
And then brought his wife over. Russian wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. There had to be something to it. They wanted him back in this country.
You know, it's funny. They never reproduced.
Yeah, I've never heard of them having children.
If they did, they kept them out of the limelight.
I've never heard of
like Jesus' children.
Like Jesus' children.
I personally, I think the whole deal was a setup anyway, because, Lyndon Johnson almost immediately started enacting stuff like gun control, at least back then, what you would call gun control, banning certain people from owning guns and things like that. What was it? I'm trying to think the year the Gun Control Act he did.
I think it was in 94, 95.
No, LBJ.
We're talking LBJ. He was the one that first initially banned people with domestic violence from owning firearms.
Yeah. I'm hearing something about that red flag law. All you have to be is somebody just say that
they're talking about it now.
Just something like that, and they just come in and take your weapons.
They're
A
talking about
all
that
you
now.
need is a neighbor having a hair across their
This
ass,
is
right?
going to be a lot of litigation. So now
And even,
we got
what's
more
even-
reasons to have more lawyers.
Well, what's even worse is, I'm not sure if this occurred today or yesterday, but Trump was saying, in those cases of dangerous people, take the guns first and then do due process second.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
No, me either, because when he said that, my first thought was, well, if you do it for these guys, what's to stop you from doing it to everybody?
Everybody.
If they go, I believe even here in New Hampshire,
Sets a precedent I don't like.
if you get a restraining
Right.
order against you, they can come and take your guns away from you.
If you
And
get
you-
arrested,
they
for
can
what?
do that now.
They get it for what?
If somebody puts a restraining order on you, they can come and take your guns away.
Come and take your guns, yeah.
You haven't been proven guilty of nothing. That's a
don't have
restraining
to
order.
be.
That's not an admission of guilt.
You don't have to be proven guilty anymore.
Yeah, I know. You just got to be accused.
And they're working towards
Hashtag
making it that
me
much
too.
easier.
No, in a lot of countries, I believe in England still, they can't say your name or show your face until you've been convicted.
England has.
It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and now it's guilty until proven innocent. They keep you jailed and locked up until they prove you innocent, rather
And they
than
keep
the
saying
opposite.
that, with today's modern technology, people ain't going to jail that are innocent. They're all guilty. Look about when they did DNA tests, and how many people were found innocent. They're just jamming people into our jails.
Well,
whether they're guilty or not guilty. You know what it is the cops keep arresting their pain in the asses on the street, and they're the ones that are going to jail.
Well, I don't know what your guys' take is on Stephen Avery, but the Making a Murderer series on Netflix,
Oh, I've
that's
seen that up and
exactly
down.
what happened to him.
I didn't
He spent,
see,
Was
12
that
years in
Wisconsin?
prison for rape he didn't commit?
right, but then he got released, and then he got convicted of murder.
Again.
Oh, yeah. And this was just literally weeks before the county was due to pay out several $1 million to him in a wrongful conviction suit. And what's really ironic is
I see
believe,
that. The guy was, like I said, they got the wrong guy in the first time, and they let him out to kill somebody.
yeah, and they got the wrong guy the second time. That's, to me, that's just my belief on it.
I'd have to see the thing on it. I can't make a judgment. I don't know.
Well, she'd come over to his
But it doesn't-
garage
let's put it
that
this way.
day. There
It
was
definitely-
bullets
it
in
definitely
the
has the,
fucking
appearance
garage.
of
To me, it was just too much overwhelming evidence.
Yeah, it smells bad.
Work truck was in the fucking found in his yard.
Well, what they don't tell you on that Making a Murderer series is, I believe it was 2 to 3 days before her vehicle was found on that property, a county sheriff, what is that, Manitowoc County, pulls up behind the vehicle, runs the plates, and it comes back to, I'm trying to think of the victim's name now.
I can't remember.
It was right on the tip of my tongue, Teresa Halbach. And it comes back to her. And this cop says over the radio, isn't that the missing girl from Manitowoc? This is 2 or 3 days before they ever found her vehicle on the Avery property.
Right. And they ran the plate?
Yeah, which means the vehicle wasn't on the property when it was found. And not to mention, her cell phone signal had actually pinged 3 or 4 different towers heading away from the Avery property.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt if he was set up. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Like I said, I have to see the evidence in its totality to draw a conclusion.
It was a long series.
Yeah. As far as I can remember.
I did see a thing on that. It was like an hour show, like The Detectives or something like that. You know, them hour forensic files or whatever. And they did an hour thing on it. But I mean, it didn't show real. They only had an hour.
So what they believe happened, and this is his attorneys, what they believe happened is one of the lead detectives on that murder case went to, what do they call that, where they store their evidence lockup, whatever it is.
Yeah, storage.
because they had a vial of his blood from the rape case that he was wrongfully convicted in. Stuck a needle in this vial, pulled some of the blood out, put it on the steering wheel of the vehicle and on the hood, and he did have access to it.
What the hell was that?
Because when they looked at that vial during their investigation, they found needle marks clearly going through the top of that vial.
Yeah, and the thing is, did that get entered into discovery? I mean, did somebody bring it up during his trial?
I do believe so.
See, that would give me pause right there.
I would have to rewatch the show, but yeah.
Sketchy on because it's been a while. I think I seen it about 2 years ago, and I'm not up on it like you are. Because did you just see it recently?
No, I've watched it like several times. But what brought it to my mind?
I've only seen it once, and it seemed to me that he was, like I said, he was innocent the first time and guilty the second.
It's entirely possible, but for me, there just was not enough evidence.
Why would you do that? Just got out of jail after 12 years. You've got a shit ton of money about to pour into your pocket.
What makes no sense to me is why would he kill a woman that come in to get a car fixed or something? Like they would never know she was there.
She had actually come in. She was working for a tell it and sell it type deal. She came in to take pictures of a van he was selling, and that's when they say
she was
killed
one
her.
of them want ads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, photographer. All right.
It just makes no sense to me to do that. Like I said, he just got out of jail. After spending all that time in jail, he had a ton of money coming his way.
Right.
And you're going to do something stupid like that?
On your own property. That's what I don't get.
I mean, to me, that really stinks. It stinks.
And they also didn't mention that one of the officers that was also investigating that case was a boyfriend to one of his, Stephen Avery's exes.
Wow. There was a lot going on with the police station and him.
Oh yeah, there was a huge conflict of interest there, and they just didn't cite any of that in the trial. They tried to keep it all under wraps.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't understand is when they have pertinent information and the DA's trying to throw it out. It's like it is crucial to this case,
right?
But they want to throw it out. It's like, don't you want justice or just to win?
Well, now it's the judges they put in now. If it's a liberal judge, they'll throw it out. You know what I mean? Just like they're doing with Trump there. They're stopping the ban just because they want to. You know what I mean? They're activist judges.
Yes. Evidently, where he lives, you get money for being false imprisonment. Doesn't happen in Mass. You could do 30 years, and they find out you're not guilty. They open up the door and go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's it.
They make sure they won't let you go unless you tell them you ain't going to press.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't press charge. You can't get compensation for false imprisonment in Massachusetts.
Wow, that's sad.
It is.
I've seen a hearing. This is how corrupt Boston is, Massachusetts. An FBI guy framed this mobster. The guy was a scumbag, right? On a murder charge. He did 30 years. They proved that he didn't do it and that the FBI agents falsified information. They've got him in the hearing room, right? And the FBI guy is doing his testimony and making jokes during his testimony. One of the guys on the commission goes, you know, the guy that you put in jail for 30 years for something he didn't do is sitting right behind you and you're making light of this? And he made a joke of that.
Wow.
Yep. Right in an open hearing.
Wow. That's somebody that needs to go to jail themselves.
Fucking untouchable. Right. Look how long Zip Conley got away with his bullshit with Whitey.
Yeah, I know.
They knew what Conley was doing.
Conley grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, he was protecting Whitey Bulger while Whitey was murdering people.
And the FBI went along with this. You know what I mean? I know him. He's from the neighborhood, so I should go get him.
And the state police launched I don't know how many investigations. And every time the state police would launch an investigation, Beacon Hill would squash it. And the Stadies were losing their fucking mind.
That's because it was a cash cow for the government. That's what the drugs have always been and always will be. Take the drugs out of the equation, and the government will flip out.
They're digging up bodies, all Whitey's victims, right? And there's Zip Conley walking fucking free when he knew where them bodies were.
Right.
He knew because he was
He's
protecting
doing
Whitey.
life, ain't he?
Yeah, he's doing it down in Florida. Yeah, that was for the highlight thing. The highlight murders.
He's doing. That's right, exactly. I think he's doing life.
Yes, I believe he is.
That's good, especially in Florida, nice and hot and humid. They don't air condition your cells, let me tell you.
Good.
I'm glad
they
you're sweating.
Boston is nothing but a cesspool of corruption. The big dig was supposed to cost $2.8 billion. It ended up costing $18 billion.
How do you miscalculate that
And
much?
it's not done yet. They still got to run the green line out to fucking Somerville or whatever.
And they got no
That's
money.
like another billion right there.
They got no more money.
From 2 to 19 billion.
They knew what was going on. You don't do a cost overrun like that and not know.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan shut the project down twice. They wanted to do it years ago. And he said, if you try doing a project with federal funds like that, every pig is going to show up at the trough.
That was the Ted Kennedy and who's the other asshole they named it?
Kerry.
Tip O'Neill.
Oh, Tip O'Neill. Yeah, but Kerry's the one that really pushed for it.
No,
John Kerry.
He pushed for the name of the bridge there to be Zakem.
No, but he was pushing for the project. He's out there, this is going to be a bargain for the taxpayer. And why should somebody in fucking Arizona be paying
for us?
For a project in Massachusetts?
I'm not paying for shit for New York, and yet we are.
Government don't care, though. It's whatever puts the money in their pockets. That's the problem.
Dude, you got to come out here, right? And we'll take you through the big dig. We'll drive you through the fucking $19 billion tunnel, and you will laugh your ass off.
$19 billion tunnel that really got
It's like 3 miles.
Yeah, it's like two something. Yeah.
No, it's 3 miles, I believe.
But the elevated road was great. It worked fine. All they had to do was take the bottleneck out.
Well, they have to keep replacing it because they make it out of steel, and steel rots. And that's what happened to this one. They did it in the 70s, and then it rotted, and when did they do the big dig? It took them fucking decades to do.
Holy shit. Boston was a catastrophe for a fucking decade. Not like it's not the hottest city in the world to drive through anyways.
And then try doing it with them blocking off everything.
I fucking was doing carpet cleaning.
I wouldn't drive through there, that's for sure.
What a mess. What you'd have to do is you'd have to go all the ways around the city on Route 128. It's hard to explain.
About 12-mile radius around it.
Yeah. It's not like just brings you right around Boston. You go out and around. So somebody's at the door.
Yeah.
Never fails. Yeah, I hate federally funded projects. They always are nothing but a fucking suck machine. It just sucks in money from everything around it.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. A cash cow.
Now, what's the biggest, the big city nearest you?
The biggest city near me would be Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So.
And I hate that place.
Never been there.
I've been to the outskirts. I drove through, but
I worked in downtown Cincinnati at Cincinnati Bell. I was a technician for Zoomtown Internet at the time, and it took me maybe 30 minutes to get to Cincinnati from where I'm at, and then another 30 minutes to get through Cincinnati to the building where I worked at. And that's on 7th Street, and the exit is literally right there. 2 buildings off the exit is where I worked.
Now, Cincinnati's set up on a grid system like New York is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Boston isn't. There's no rhyme, no reason. There's a few areas on a grid system, but for the most part, it's just winding roads that ramble through the city. It's the most god awful thing you ever seen.
Well, what's even worse is you get into downtown Cincinnati, everything's a one way. So wherever you came in at, you're not going out at.
I'd see that would drive me nuts. I couldn't do that. You
Yeah,
can't turn around anywhere.
You have to, if you say you get off the 7th Street exit in Cincinnati from 75, it's a full 2-mile drive before you can get back on the highway. Because of all the one ways.
That would drive me fucking insane. That would drive me fucking insane. Oh,
yeah. Which is why I don't work there anymore.
We were down in Pennsylvania, and we got on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. We missed our exit, right? We had to go 18 fucking miles down the road to the next exit. Go up, pay the toll to get back on, and 18 miles back because we missed one exit.
Wow.
I am laughing my ass off. I'm like, this can't be fucking happening.
But it is.
18 miles between exits.
That's sad. That's freaking sad. I would have killed myself by the time I got through the second 18 miles.
Not a huge fan of Pennsylvania, by the way.
No.
I spent a lot of time down there. Did not have a great like for it.
And it's funny to hear you say down there when you're talking about it too, though, because it's like slightly northeast of where I'm at. What does he mean down there? It's up north.
Well, where I am, the next state's Canada. Everything's south from here. I'm at the top of America.
Just about. You ain't too far from
I'm
the
in
Canadian border.
Right, I'm in the southern part of the state, but I border Canada. Everything from here is south.
Canada, the nicest assholes you'll ever meet.
Yeah. Never been, never cared to. Oh, I'm not allowed in Canada anyways.
Why not?
Because I have a drunk driving. Drunk driving is considered a felony in Canada, so I'm not allowed to enter Canada because that makes me an instant felon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good and a bad thing.
I told my brother Mike that, and he's like, oh, no, that's not true, because he's got a drunk driving, too. And his was ages ago. And he looked it up. He's like, you fucking can't. You kidding me? He goes, I can't go to Canada. I go, I don't know about you, Mike, because yours happened so fucking long ago. I go, that might not even pop.
Right.
But mine certainly would.
Yeah, I don't think you can get into Canada with any kind of felony on your record.
Yeah. But it's not a felony here. It is there. I'm not a felon. I'm a felon in Canada. I'm not a felon in
I got two of them. They were in the 70s.
I've never had a drinking and driving charge of any kind.
Good for you.
I never had a problem drinking and driving. Mine was that the woman pointed at me and the cops just turned the lights on. Next thing you know, there's a chase. And I ended up losing.
Yes.
You got caught.
Stuck in my mouth, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they don't like when they have to go high speed chase, Jimmy. They don't like that.
Well, I got out and I threw a sign at him. I put 6 stitches in his leg.
Wow.
And you're
a mean drunk.
When I was handcuffed in the back of the cruiser, I'm sticking my head out the window and spitting at him with blood because he kept punching me in the face.
Oh, that's
I know where you live, you fucking spick.
God, you're a mean-ass drunk.
Is it now?
I ever see one beer can in front of my house. He goes, I'll blow your head off.
I have no desire to go to Canada. Could kill us.
Me neither.
Why? It looks just like where I live.
I mean, it's nice. The people were great, especially the German section. We went in there, we were dancing on tables. It was a riot.
You know what cops hate even worse is when they pull somebody over that knows their rights.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It pisses them off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've seen some good YouTube videos on them.
Yeah, they don't
gotta
like it at
get
DUI stops either.
New Hampshire's getting rid of them.
Getting rid of what?
DUI checkpoints. They're
Yeah,
not
the
gonna be doing
DUI
them no more.
checkpoints.
Yeah, because they said, first of all, somebody found a clause in the New Hampshire Constitution, and they looked at it and they were like, it does say, this does violate the law. And the cops are all for it because they said less than 1% of the people we pull over are drunk. We're better off being out on the roads watching people drive drunk.
Right. But, well, it's unconstitutional, I think, honestly, because the person has the right to be secure in their papers and personal effects. And not only that, here in Ohio, they have to provide you with an attorney before they can ask you any questions if you ask for one.
Oh, yeah, here too.
Yeah, same thing, but they get people that are drunk are usually mouthy.
Mm-hmm.
They want to tell them the whole life history.
Have you seen that video? I think this might have been in Arizona, where this female sheriff pulls over a guy in a blue pickup. He's drunker and shit. She gets him out of the vehicle and putting him through all these steps of a DUI test, making him say his alphabet backwards, and he says it backwards flawlessly.
Oh. I can't do that
even
sober.
do that. Yeah, no,
And she goes, "Wow, that's amazing. I've never even seen anybody do that sober."
Yeah, I couldn't do it sober.
Me neither.
Well, then she starts getting him to do like cabaret dances or something like that. He goes, what would be interesting is if you did all these weird dance moves. And she goes, wow, you're pretty good. He goes, no, I'm just drunk.
Yeah, that's Reno 911.
And he busted himself. No, I'm just drunk.
Yeah.
And they both look at each other and go, oh.
Yeah, Reno 911. That's a great clip. Yeah, hip step.
Bump, bump.
Yeah, that was great. I like the one when she pulls over, what's the guy from the Blue Collar comedy tour?
Oh, it'd be Jeff Foxworthy.
The white guy. What's his name?
Ron White?
Ron White. He does an episode of 911, the same show, Reno 911.
Yeah.
The blonde chick, she pulls him over. And they knew each other. They had dated a couple times. And he's an airline pilot, right? And he's fucking hammered. She's like, he's like, yeah, I gotta catch a flight, She's like, all right, just go. And he drives about 50 feet down the road and crashes right into a pole.
He's going for a plane?
Yeah, he's an airline pilot. He's heading to the airport.
Well, he is a heavy drinker.
I don't know how many people were on the plane, but somebody saved them that night.
Yep, God intervened.
Give it to the pilot.
Right?
That sounded like the last flight I took from Orlando, landing in Boston. Fucking
oh, God.
Dude, the scariest airport I've ever landed in is Boston. By far. It's tiny. It's little. And it's right on the water.
I've been to two airports.
If you overshoot the runway, right into the water.
Right into the drink.
Right into good old Boston Harbor. And you don't want to end up in that fucking water, trust me.
It's gotten clear.
Yeah, it's gotten better.
See, I've only been to two airports, but I've never been on a plane.
You never flown?
Nope.
Oh, boy, it's an experience. I haven't flown since 9/11. But
yeah, that's why I was getting ready to say I don't want to get on a plane anymore. There might be somebody with a box cutter on there.
Exactly. Well, actually, a bomb. They could send it and everything, FedEx it. You know what I mean? And nobody would know.
Well, all they really got to do, they don't have to have a weapon or anything on there. All they got to do is pop open one of them side doors on that plane, and it'll just suck everybody out.
You don't get sucked out. You get blown
out. Yeah.
Well, don't unbuckle your seatbelt. Just stay buckled in. I want the 5-point harness.
Right. You don't want the seat that's got extra bolts holding it to the floor.
Seen a Muslim guy in the back of the plane. I want the 5-point harness. I don't understand how they did that with box cutters. Why didn't everyone just rush them?
I honestly, I don't think that's how it happened,
cut.
but you know the government's never, whether it's true or not, the government's never going to tell the full truth on it because they don't want us to know the full truth.
Clothes off your shirt and whatnot and put it up around your neck.
Just everyone rush them. If you have 35 people, rush them. What the fuck's he going to do?
Well, you can't get at them in a small little area.
I could.
You know,
he's dropping bodies. That makes more
Get
protection
a box
for him.
cutter.
there would not.
Right, and not the. He's going for the neck.
So I'd rather one or two people take a hit than a whole fucking plane.
Right.
Right. There would not have been any conspiracy theories floating around about that had it not been for the plane that supposedly hit the Pentagon. The stuff in front of the Pentagon that they claimed was, what was it, a 747 that hit the Pentagon? The engine part that they found was the size of an engine on, like, say, a private jet. Not a passenger jet.
Right, yeah.
It was too small to fit a 747, and that was the only piece of the aircraft they supposedly found.
I've seen the Pentagon up close. Do you know how hard it would be to fucking level a 747 low enough to hit the side of that building?
Right.
Well,
you have to come in from above.
How many stories?
That, not to mention, there was
it's
nothing.
The way it sits. It's not. It's big.
How many stories?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 10.
Oh, okay.
That might be more than that, but not. You know what I mean?
You're right. 10
You'd
stories.
have to level out a 747, get it low enough to the ground in fucking DC. The road goes right by the Pentagon, right? It's not like they were trying to do it in the desert. You're trying to level a fucking 747 out, 50 feet above the ground in DC. I don't know. I don't
71 feet tall. That's how tall the Pentagon is.
71 feet tall.
Yeah.
So you'd have to level out at
7 floors.
the minimum.
So that's 7 stories.
Yeah.
About 7 stories.
Yeah.
You'd have to level out at 50 feet in a 747.
Yeah.
Do that. Otherwise, you'd be hitting from above. It didn't hit from above. It hit the side.
Yeah, and then there was literally nothing left of that plane except for the small engine piece that they found.
Well, what about
the
people in it? Just by the people in it, they should have knew what flight it was from.
They do.
Well, it was
United
747. They're mistaken.
I believe it was United. I don't know if it was United Flight 93 that hit the Pentagon or not.
I thought 93 was the one that went down in the field.
Pennsylvania or something.
It might have been, but at the same time, that flight was reported as landing in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, I think I'd rather have the fate in fucking Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was reported as landing in Cleveland, and then when the towers collapsed, they were talking about a British television station was talking about Building 7 collapsing, and they were live in New York, and Building 7, you could clearly see it standing in the background. They said Building 7 had collapsed, and the damn building is plain as day on video, standing in the background.
Still there, they're like, oops, push the button, push the fucking button.
Yeah, like, what the hell? I mean, I've got stacks upon stacks of newspapers I went out and bought the day that happened. Actually sitting right behind me in a tote somewhere, and reading that stuff, it's like, how in the hell? How in the hell did they pull something like this off?
Yeah. Do you remember where you were when you first heard?
Yes, I was in Miamisburg, Ohio, roofing a house. Only a year later from that day, I bought the house next door to the one I was roofing.
Wow.
I was weed whacking guardrails on 125 for the
Because I remember that we were where Miamisburg was at is close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So I'm standing on the roof, hammering away with this nail gun, right? And all of a sudden, I hear 2 really loud booms. The whole house freaking shook, and then a few seconds after that, I hear a 3rd loud boom. It was fighter jets breaking the sound barrier directly over the house.
Oh, shit. That's something I've never seen as a sonic boom.
You know.
Well, I wasn't looking up when I heard the first two. The third time, though, I was looking up.
I got thrown off the highway. I was working for the highway department.
Actually, I think I did hear a sonic boom come out of Bedford Air Force Base.
I called my boss. I go, because we whacking guardrails, and it said all non-essential state personnel being sent home. We were a private company, but we were working for the state.
Right.
So I call my boss, and I go, we're being told to go home over the radio. He's like, oh, we're a private company. We don't get shut down. So I'm fucking mowing an island, a neutral. And a fucking state pulls, up onto the fucking island. He's like, what are you doing? Well, I'm mowing. He goes, do you know what's going on? I go, yeah. I was watching it at the TV, at the Prime gas station. He goes, you got to get off the road. I go, I told my boss that. He goes, I'm telling you that. So
well, you know what? One of the big reasons they probably did that was because two or three of the plane, or at least two of the planes involved, actually had a flight pattern over your area.
Yep. So. Well, didn't two of them leave Boston?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The one from New York and that hit the. Oh, they both went from Boston.
That hit the trade
towers. One in the north and one in the south or east, whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, my boss was still arguing with me. After I told him the state, he threw me off the highway. I swear to God, he was still arguing with me. I can't believe they're doing this. I'm like, are you fucking retarded?
That was American Airlines Flight 77 that hit the Pentagon.
There you go.
And they said, what's that? Was that the 747?
They were all 47.
There was a 757 or a 767.
Ooh.
That's a big plane.
You're goddamn right it is.
Into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Well, they were all gigantic planes. They were all
How many people died in the Pentagon?
I'm not sure. But right here, I'm looking at an article. I hate this freaking website. Oh my God, that's a perfect picture of the front of the Pentagon after it was hit. See like a engine prop from a tiny plane to the left of where it supposedly hit. But they're saying that the idea that plane hitting the Pentagon was faked is false. They're saying that's just a hoax, that that plane really hit the Pentagon. But you could clearly see from all the photos that there is no evidence a plane of any kind actually hit it except for the small prop that they found.
Really?
Yeah. If you go to Snopes.com and look it up, it shows that picture. I'm like, how can they say a 757 or a 767 hit that building and there's nothing left of it but a small engine prop?
Yeah, just an engine.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm thinking of, I can't see the picture of the Pentagon, but it wasn't much of a crash site.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's surprisingly small for such a big plane carrying that much fuel.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that the damage path on the building was not as wide as the plane.
Well, only the nose hit it.
That's what they're saying. They're saying the wings got ripped off, which I don't see how you would think they.
Yeah, no.
You would think they'd be laying on the ground in front of the building or somewhere inside the building, but there's nothing.
Or even on the other side of the Beltway.
Right.
The road goes right by the Pentagon. So, I mean, if the wings were ripped off, which is feasible, and it would keep going, its own thrust would keep it going.
Right.
But, I mean, the wings would be somewhere,
right,
barely intact.
Well, they get the fuel. They might be a little burnt.
Well, yeah, so there's a lot of fuel in there.
Can you explain how a Boeing 757 weighing nearly 100 tons traveling at a absolute minimum speed of 250 miles an hour, and that's just to keep it in the air, only damaged the outside of the Pentagon?
Right.
Yeah, it should have went right through.
I don't remember anything breaking all the way through.
Look, I guarantee you, I used to drive super dumps, the big quarry dumps, dump trucks. I guarantee you, if I got that thing up to 35 miles an hour, which is fast in one of them, by the way, I would go into that building. That's a dump truck going 35 miles an hour. not a jumbo jet going, like you said, a minimal of 250 miles an hour.
Well, you also got to keep in mind that they said this plane made it all the way through to the fifth ring of the Pentagon, which is the center.
Yep.
And there's just no way. They're not that plane anyway. You know how ridiculously, pardon the pun, how ridiculously lucky you would have to get to hit a target like that with a 757.
Yeah, just the trajectory's all wrong.
Yeah,
You can't level that out 50 feet over the ground with any accuracy at all.
Yeah, and Snopes claims that the plane actually hit the ground.
Oh, Jesus
first.
Christ, Snopes.
Yes,
Please
that's what
do
I was
not
saying. I
take
said I hate this
anything
site because
Snopes says.
they try
It's
to debunk
fucking
everything,
shit. Yeah, it's a
and none of it
debunk
makes
site.
sense.
They suck. Do you know what Snopes is? It's a guy, his wife, and a dog. That's what Snopes is.
Yeah, well, you know, before they started Snopes, that they were actually professional paranormal investigators.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
They were Ghostbusters.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
So they got a background.
I don't want to down anybody who does paranormal investigation for a living, because granted, there is some science in that and a lot of money in it, but
Yeah, a lot of money in it, zero science.
how can you expect somebody who can't prove what they're investigating exists to be able to debunk anything?
Yeah, and it's not like they've been investigating it for a few days or something like this. After like 30 fucking years, wouldn't you go, you know what, I give up.
If you can't prove what you believe in, how can you prove anything else?
Yeah. I get such a kick out of them people. It's like that show, Finding Bigfoot. The name of the show is Finding Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the one thing they've never done?
They've never found Bigfoot.
Exactly. And the show's been on like 6-7 years. And people still watch it.
I
It's
would
like,
be
you
half
know how
tempted
the
to go
ending-
out there
how it
and
ends.
I would be half tempted to go out there in a Yeti suit and run around until somebody shot at me and
I
said
was
they
gonna say,
found
you'd be
Bigfoot.
Dead.
And you deserve it.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I would.
making these marks. People with sticks with feet on them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. There's no
You would
Bigfoot.
see their footprints too.
Jimmy, how do you hide a fucking 9-foot tall?
How do you hide the
Fucking-
footprints that are put in the footprints?
Because they're fakes. It's fake.
Right.
It's like crop circles.
Right, but people's gonna walk by with the fake feet.
That's what they do.
Right. Well, their footprints got to show up somewhere.
No, yeah. When they go back onto the road, step off and take the fucking things off their feet.
No,
And they walk on asphalt.
Be
Get in their car.
able to, so like the Indians do. They can see the path and whatever. They can read.
There was, trust me, there was no such thing as Bigfoot. No such thing.
I didn't say there was.
There's no such
No.
crop circles are fake.
I don't
Ghosts
know
are
about that.
fake.
Not
Yeah,
to
easy
change the
just push
subject,
it off.
but
That's what the liberals do.
not to
Right.
change the subject, but I just found an article I'd had up in the background where Google, if you go to their shopping link and search any gun, it doesn't matter what it is, can't find them on there.
I did it the other day. It worked. I found tons of shit. I seen that on Facebook.
And
So I tried it. It was on Breitbart. I got it from Breitbart.
really,
They're a reputable site. I tried it. Boom. I got in. No problem. I Googled it, and there were gun sales here, gun sales there.
Ruger 22, your search did not match any shopping results.
Huh. But this was a couple days ago, so because I seen
And
it
this
on
is
Breitbart
today
2
that I
days
did
ago.
this.
Yeah.
Glock 19, we'll try the Glock 19. Glock 19 did not match any shopping results.
Huh. You know what the good thing about that is, though? People are just going to go to the mom and pop. We were talking about this earlier, me and you.
the mom and
Yeah,
pop.
they just go to the mom and pop store and buy a gun. Every town's got
Well, yeah.
a fucking gun dealer.
Not to mention, I've been advertising everywhere today that, Bass Pro Shop is still selling those guns.
Yeah. Oh, I did the Bass Pro Shop in Memphis, Tennessee. Holy shit, dude! It's this big, gigantic pyramid, like the one in Vegas.
Wow.
And it is amazing in there. They have pawns. They have like settings, like wood settings, It's you gotta see it if you ever get a chance. Go to Memphis and see the Pro Bass shop there. It's amazing.
Right,
they have an elevator that goes right to the top of the pyramid, and there's a bar up there.
Oh yeah.
And,
that'd be nice.
And a patio off of it, and I think you're like 300 feet up, and it's a glass floor. The patio. Ooh, it's scary, especially at night.
Have you seen that that digital that bridge in I believe it's in Japan? It's digital. They can play any kind of background or whatever on the floor to this bridge, but if there's no background, you can see straight through it to the ground below.
The glass one, yeah, it's in China.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Japan for some reason.
I'm pretty sure it's China, but you could be right. But I seen
But
that.
they
It's
were-
like real long.
If you've seen this,
Made of
they were
glass?
yes, they were pranking people that were walking across it the other day, and they played a video where it made it look like the glass was cracking.
I seen that, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
seen
saw
that, and I
that.
was laughing.
And that one guy, he grabs the rail and flings
Yeah,
his legs
the
up on
handrail.
the side of it so he doesn't fall.
People are assholes. That's like the shark. There's a shark tank somewhere. There's an exhibit. It says, "Do not touch the glass." And if you touch the glass, it produces like a hologram of a shark coming up and hitting the glass and the glass cracking. Fucking hysterical. People are literally jumping backwards like 10 feet right onto their ass.
You know what's really hysterical? So I find funny. You take a cucumber, lay it on the floor, just like behind a cat, just barely out of its view. And for the life of me, I don't know why they do this, but they are scared to death of fucking cucumbers and will jump through the roof
I
when they
tried
see it.
that.
Is this with cats?
Yeah, I tried it. Didn't work with my cats. I tried it.
Huh?
I never.
I've
I
seen
don't
it
eat
work.
cucumbers, so I never tried it. I got 2 cats.
And my cat Butterball, he is going to be one of the most skittish cats. When he walks outside, he takes a step, looks both ways, takes a step, looks both ways. And it didn't work with him. I
He's
think
been
it was
hit
him.
by
It
a car
definitely
before.
worked. Evidently, he's not afraid of cucumbers.
I guess not.
But I did see the video, and it was awesome.
It was hilarious. That was flat out hilarious watching that happen.
And cats, when they jump, they go straight up.
Oh, you see how the cat jumps straight
Yeah,
up?
Jimmy's cat. Jesus Christ, can that thing leap?
It jumps about 3 and a half, 4 feet.
Hey, what's up? Oh shit, we're over.
Okay, we gotta shut the show down.
Oh
here.
shit.
Damn, that was fast.
That was
Wow,
fast.
it was.
It's 9 o'clock. All right,
Hey, are we going to
everybody.
see you tomorrow night?
Shout
Yeah.
out to the troops,
Yes, big shout out to the troops.
and we'll catch you tomorrow night
Yes,
on All
sir.
In.
I was young,
Stay with us.
I was angry, I was fun, I was charming, I was lucky. Tell me how